Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been more than just a hot second since the last time we saw each other, so I am very excited to be back. I've missed you all so much. I hope you missed me too. I've been weeping. Anyway, I'm so happy to be back here on YouTube, and I have so much in store for you today, so get ready. So this weekend, I had the awesome opportunity to travel down to South Georgia. And surprisingly, the weather was pretty much the same as Boston. And so to my southern friends, I want to tell you that I see you. I understand now why you wear your winter coats when it's 60 degrees outside. That was the coldest I had ever felt, and it was 60. Anyway, that aside, I had a really great time down in South Georgia. Went to Georgia Southern University, which was a really great time. 150 people, students came out-ish, came out to this lecture on a Friday night, and it was, they had some challenging questions. Part of traveling to the South was me preparing to be in a space that could be potentially more hostile. And so it was more emotionally exhausting than I had anticipated, to have to debate in front of 150 people when a group of boys comes prepared with questions trying to trap you. But we had a really good discussion, and I appreciated them, and I hope they appreciated me as well. And so I just want to give a big shout out to the woman who made this all happen, Nancy Malcolm. There. So I just really was so thankful to be in that space, and it really reminded me that the work that we as queer Christians do is important. I get to travel around in my pink blazer all the time, and just be open and be authentically me, yet I understand the difficulty of being gay in a space like that. Not everyone can be as open as I have been, and more other environments are hostile, and I experienced just a glimpse of that down there. And so my heart goes out to folks who are living in environments where they can't be authentically themselves. That being said, it was still a really great weekend of joy. To see people on fire for Jesus and also queer love was amazing in the South. So many folks on the campuses and at Asbury Memorial United Methodist Church just gave me that Southern hospitality love that I hear so much about. So it was really great to see hope even in the midst of this place. We had a really great time. They have amazing musical talent there as well, by the way, so if you're ever passing through Savannah, you should go there. But it was just a great time, refocusing on seeing the glimmers of hope and this revolution taking place around the connection, to say that United Methodists can be people of passionate justice and mercy and love and compassion, and to see that happening in the South. Many people fear that if the church splits in May, our Southern friends will be forgotten, that because there's only a few Southern reconciling churches in some instances, that they will be alone as their conferences go in a more conservative route. But it was a really powerful weekend to say, you're not alone. We are in this together, and that we in the North, we around the world, will not forget about those churches all over who are in hostile environments, who are being beacons of God's inclusive justice around the world. So we are in this struggle together now more than ever, and I encourage you to stay connected. All right, so that's a lot that's going on. General Conference for my Methodist friends out there is coming up in just a couple months. So we're all preparing for that, talking about the Christmas covenant and other international ways that we can, respect our international church. And so I'll have more on that coming soon. So keep a lookout. But for now, I just wanted to thank you all so much for tuning in. this weekend I head off to Las Vegas. First time in Vegas, to be with some churches out there, University United Methodist Church, and then take a break for spring break this week up in Canada, and then I return the following weekend to Boulder, Colorado to be with folks out there. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure to go to Amazon, like, subscribe, and share this video on my YouTube channel. And now, one of my favorite things is when I visit places, you get to hear stories from folks who have experienced the church as queer people. So I'm excited to bring to you some of those stories of people down in South Georgia who have experienced living in a church as a queer person and experienced God in those moments. So I hope that these stories can perhaps bring you peace, can bring you someone to identify with, someone to find solidarity with, and are useful pieces for you to share with folks who don't know queer Christians, to say we're out there, we exist, We're as wonderful as unicorns, but you can actually spot us. So I hope these stories are meaningful for you as much as they are for me. So here we go.
Me to be in church as a member of the LGBT community. Well, number one, because it is community and I can make a difference here. My story goes way back. I've been in church since I was in middle school, high school were my formative years in church. And hiding as a gay man through all of those years was very difficult. I never could understand what my faith was about because I'd be told one thing from the pulpit and then I'd go home and struggle with what that really meant. And until I found a community that accepted me for who I am, it helped me discover what my faith was and what a difference that made with me in my growth to then be able to witness to others with my story, and that it is okay to be gay, and I can be a Christian. And it's a beautiful thing to have them come together as one.
Hi, I'm August. Fortunately, I haven't ever been hurt by a church. I've been hurt by people that maybe were influenced by church. I think it's important for everyone to be welcomed into a church so that we all see different kinds of people and that people are different from us.
Great.
I was always raised in the church with my family, and my grandfather and grandmother helped start a church. And so when I joined the military, I went away to Alaska. And while I was there, I joined the church because I believed I needed to be in a church body. Well, when I came back home to visit my family, the pastor of the church said in front of everybody, well, you went and joined whatever, the first thing you could jump in. And it was an embarrassment to me in front of my whole family because I really thought that God wanted me to immerse myself with other Christians. And he made it like I was doing something against the church.
Alexis, and we would like to know, have you ever been hurt by the church?
Yes, as painful as that sounds, and it shouldn't happen, it did happen. Both my wife and I both started at different denominations and found rather quickly when we became together that we would have to leave those denominations or find a place that was accepting for us and that loved us for who we are.
Just about all the LGBT people I have ever met are anti-church, and I think that they were hurt particularly by what I found was radical churches, the radical end of the scale. But my last church was very kind to me and such, as long as I was a guy. And now they don't know that I'm not. But they would ostracize me on the spot because I've heard them talk about LGBT people, and they really hate them. So I would be ostracized. All that friendship for the past 6 years would go down the drain. And it hurts me to the quick about that.
Right.